Hey, what's up, book team? It's Amelia and welcome to my channel. So for those of you who don't know, I adore a video game series called Kingdom Hearts. And the day that I'm going to be posting this video on is the day that Kingdom Hearts 3, which is the last game of this entire series, is going to be finally released after 14 years of waiting. I am so unbelievably excited, especially because I'm probably gonna have it in my hands soon after this video goes up, which is so thrilling to me. Like, I've been waiting for this game since high school. Like, I am so amped and I can't wait to see how it all comes together and ends. I'm just kind of going through a huge emotional spectrum lately, and yeah. But anyway, in these past couple weeks, I've been replaying all the Kingdom Hearts games to get me all more excited. Like, I need to get more excited for Kingdom Hearts 3, and also to refresh my memory a bit and stuff like that. But anyway, while I was replaying all these games, I was sitting there thinking about how I should probably pick up a book and read as well. And then it hit me that I can make a Kingdom Hearts book tag. So that is what I did, and that is what I'm going to be doing today. I forgot to say that I'm pretty sure no one else has made this tag before, or at least in my numerous YouTube searches, I couldn't find anything. So if you or someone you know has made this tag before, I deeply apologize. I really tried searching. I really did. So I really hope I didn't steal someone else's idea unintentionally. Side note, I tried to make this book tag so that people who aren't familiar with the series could also enjoy doing it. I don't know how successful I was in that, but we'll see what happens. And I'm kind of nervous about making my first original book tag, so yeah, let's just dive right into it because there's a lot of stuff to get into. So the first prompt for this tag is the Keyblade. For those of you who don't play the games, the Keyblade is the main weapon that you use. It's basically this ultimate weapon of light that's supposed to help eliminate all the darkness in the world, and it also chooses its own master who it feels is strong enough to be able to wield its power. So for the Keyblade section, I would like for you to think of a book that you'll always carry in your heart. For me, that book is The Sunflower on the Possibilities and Limits of Forgiveness by Simon Wiesenthal. My kettle is beeping at me. I read this book for a college course that I had, and it has just had this big, profound effect on me. So this book is a first-person account of Simon while he is a Jewish prisoner during World War II. And during one of his workforce excursions, they go to this school that he used to attend when he was a kid that has since been converted into a hospital. And while he and his fellow prisoners are working at this converted hospital, he gets approached by a nurse and gets taken to a dying Nazi general. But this dying Nazi ends up asking Simon for forgiveness for all the awful things that he has done to the Jewish people and more. I won't tell you what Simon's response to this Nazi was. That was basically the first half of the book, is Simon telling his story of all this and his answer. And then the second half of the story is he actually sent out letters to a lot of well-known world leaders and well-known people of peace, and people he revered and stuff like that. And so the second half of the book is his responses from his letters, of basically asking them, like, did I respond well? Like, what do you think about my response to this request of forgiveness? I find Simon's story to just be absolutely fascinating, and I find the responses of all these world leaders to be equally as interesting. Next for the Kingdom Hearts book tag is the Gummi Ship. For those of you who don't know, the Gummi Ship is a spaceship that our hero and his friends use to go from world to world as they eliminate the darkness seeping into all those worlds. So as such, for the Gummi Ship section, I would like for you to find a book that completely whisks you away to another world or inspired you to visit a specific place in real life. For myself personally, the book I chose is The 12 Kingdoms, Sea of Shadow by Fuyumi Ono. This series is such a near and dear one to my heart. I fell in love with the anime originally, and then I found out it was based on novels, and so I immediately just tracked down all these novels. But one of the reasons why I love this series so much is the world building in it is incredible. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a wonderful character arc in this series that is just so well done. But the thing that really truly grabs me about this series is the world that it gave me. It's a world that's based out of Chinese mythology, and there's a lot of complex political disputes I just thought, and still do think, it is one of the most unique worlds I have ever read about in my life, and a world that honestly I wish more people would explore themselves. Essentially, if you love good world building, please pick up this series. Like, watch the anime or read the novels, I don't care, but if you love good world building, this is a great series for that. So the next section in the Kingdom Hearts book tag is the Heartless. The Heartless are creatures that you're hunting down that have been born out of the darkness of people's hearts. So for the Heartless, I thought it would be fun to find a book that connected you to your dark side. For me, that book would be The Power by Naomi Alderman. This book is about what happens when all the women in the world suddenly get this electrical power within them that only they can use and control. It essentially follows the power shift that happens once the women are more powerful than men physically. And it also presents a very fascinating take on the whole gender role discussion. It was blurbed by Margaret Atwood as well as Joss Whedon, two people who I greatly admire and just adore beyond belief. So of course I felt very compelled to pick up this book. But then while reading the book, at least for like the first half of the book, it was so interesting to me how great it kind of felt, just like reading all this stuff that these women were doing as they were able to overtake the men who had hurt them or abused them or imprisoned them or whatever the case may be. It was just so beyond satisfying, and it felt just so great, even though I knew at times it was just so twisted. And then of course the second half of the book happened, and now I feel kind of weird about a lot of things. Honestly, I think the thing that best describes this book is Margaret Atwood's blurb about it, which is electrifying, shocking, will knock your socks off, then you'll think twice about everything. And that's exactly what this book did to me. Completely, highly recommend it. Next section is Organization 13. Organization 13 is a group of powerful nobodies. When someone who has a strong heart passes away, a nobody of them is created. So basically they are just a shell, hence the name Nobody. So with this idea of a heartless shell in mind, what is a book that left you feeling empty inside? For me, that book is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This book follows two perspectives of a girl and a boy who are from different backgrounds, different walks of life, and it's about their experiences and the changes that they go through as World War II happens in their lives, as well as the different paths that they take and where they ultimately end up. This book absolutely destroyed me. It was just such a beautifully written book. And while I was satisfied with the ending, this book put me in just such an immense book coma. Like, it was so hard for me to pick up another book because I just felt like it wouldn't fill in the hole that All the Light We Cannot See basically left. Like, I really don't like using the word masterpiece, but oh my god, you guys, this is a book that I would consider to be an absolute masterpiece. Which I know is setting the bar pretty high probably, but I don't care because I just adore this book so much. And again, when I finished it, I felt destroyed. Like, I did feel like an empty shell. Next on the tag list is These Worlds Are Connected. This is a phrase that is repeated fairly often within the series. Basically, before the start of the first game, all the worlds are not connected. They are in their own separate entities, unaware of the existence of other worlds. Or at least for the most part, they're unaware. And then these big power moves happen that basically cause all the worlds to be connected, which is bad. And this line first occurs as a warning at the beginning of the first game. So for this, I thought it'd be cool to find a favorite multi-genre book. Currently for me, since this is very fresh in my mind since I finished it just like 2 weeks ago, and that book is The Impossible Girl by Lydia Kang. I got this book in a Once Upon a Book Club box. I'm not really doing subscription boxes that much anymore because I need to save some money. But I read the description of the box that this came in and I was just so intrigued, so I just got it for that single one time. So really, I got this book without really knowing what to expect, but I wasn't really disappointed. This book follows a girl in 19th century New York who is known as a resurrectionist. So basically, she seeks out people with weird anatomical abnormalities. And when these people die, she and her crew of grave robbers dig up the body and sell it to scientists or showmen, whoever has the biggest pouch to basically pay. That sounded so wrong. Whoever can pay the most. But what people don't know is she has an anatomical abnormality herself. And that is she was born with a second heart. And that's not the only secret she has, because she also cross-dresses as a guy in order to pull off all these grave-digging antics. I just thought it was a very unique setting dealing with very interesting topics. You have some historical fiction, you have some horror, you have some thriller. Arguably, you could say you have some hints of medical in there. But it's definitely a great blend of genres, and I think it's a great story that should definitely be more talked about. Like, this is a recent book, I believe. Yeah, this was published last year, and I'm kind of surprised I'm not hearing more about it. Like, it definitely has its flaws, but I definitely think it is worth picking it up. Next on the tagline is Simple and Clean.
You walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go.
Simple and Clean is the original theme song of Kingdom Hearts. It's by a very well-known Japanese artist named Utada Hikaru. She's amazing. She's pretty much done like all the theme songs and main songs for all the Kingdom Hearts games. And Simple and Clean is basically like the most iconic one of them all. So going with the Simple and Clean theme, what is a book that you completely breeze through? For me, this is another recent one because I finished it like a month or two ago, and that is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I feel like I don't have to explain what this book is about because it's been getting so popular, and it has been popular, and it has never stopped being popular. But basically, this book series follows Laura Jean, who writes a letter to all the boys she has ever loved in her life to get over her crush and feelings for them. She doesn't send those letters, she just collects them and keeps them in a box under her bed, I think, or maybe it's in her closet. She hangs on to the letters in a box. And then one day she discovers that someone has accidentally sent those letters, and then all sorts of twists and turns ensue. I'm usually not the biggest contemporary type of person, but I thought this was so cute and so fluffy, and I really enjoyed the family dynamic in it as well, and as well as the little insights that they have into their Korean heritage despite being mainly raised by a white father. It was just so interesting to me, and I felt it really added a lot of life and really grounded it realistically for me. Not that I come from a Korean family, of course, I just thought it just made them feel more real to me. And since they felt more real, and since again it's a contemporary book, so for the most part it's an easy breezy read, I just literally just sped through. I'm pretty sure I finished this in like a day and a half maybe. I was basically like speed racer through this book. I've also read the second book. I haven't read the third book yet, but it is on my ultimate TBR list for this year. Next on the tag list is Got It Memorized.
Got it memorized.
Another frequently uttered line within the series. One of my favorite characters in the series, whose name is Axel. It's kind of like his catchphrase, and it's just really great. And I think it's safe to say that it's one of the most favorite lines amongst Kingdom Hearts fans. So for this prompt, what is a quote that you have memorized or think about often? So for me, that quote comes from Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke. Basically, it's a compilation of letters that a young poet sent to Rainer Maria Rilke for seeking advice for his poetry. This is what I would definitely consider to be a must-read for writers. Not that I'm a writer personally, but I do have a lot of writer friends who adore this little thing. So this is the quote. You ask whether your verses are good. You ask me. You have already asked others. You send them to journals. You compare them with other poems and are upset when certain editorial offices reject your efforts. Now, since you've permitted me to give you advice, I ask you to abandon all this. You look outside yourself, and that above all else is something you should not do just now. Nobody can advise you and help you, nobody. There's only one way to proceed. Go inside yourself. Explore the reason that compels you to write. Test whether it stretches its roots into the deepest part of your heart. Admit to yourself whether you would have to die if the opportunity to write were withheld from you. Above all else, ask yourself at your most silent hour of the night, must I write? Dig inside yourself for a deep answer. And if the answer is yes, if it is possible for you to respond to this serious question with a strong and simple I must, then build your life on the basis of this necessity. Your life, even at its most indifferent and attenuated, must become a sign and a witness for this compulsion. So one of the reasons why I love this quote so much is while it is talking about writing and the need to write, it really can be applied to pretty much every career or even any decision in your choice or any decision in your life that you come about. Whenever I have a tough choice, I always refer back to this quote, and I think it has definitely helped me a lot and has definitely helped me make stronger choices with my life and happier choices. Next on the tag list is "My friends are my power." This is another phrase that is uttered throughout the series, especially because pretty much the overall, if not one of the overall major themes is the power of friendship. So for this one, what is one of your favorite book friendships? For this one, I am going to go with The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society from The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Marianne Schaefer and Annie Barrows. I'm going to be posting a review for this book eventually, so I won't get into too much detail about what I thought about it. This book follows a writer named Juliet, and as she is searching for this new writing idea after World War II has ended, she gets sent a letter by one of the members of the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, and through that meets this lovely group of fantastic characters who I just fell in love with. Like, for one, just the society in general is great because it's a literary society, but also just reading about the different ways that they supported one another throughout the Nazi occupation of their island and as well as afterwards. It was just so inspiring, and it really made me want to have a group of friends like that. And by the end of the book, I truly felt like they were real people, so I was really upset when I finished because I was like, oh, I don't have my friends anymore. And I might be in slight denial about it still, but it's fine. And the last item on our tag list is sea salt ice cream. This is a very popular ice cream within the world of Twilight Town, which is one of the many worlds you go to while you're exploring the galaxies and saving the world from darkness. It is also one of the things that I really wish I could try, and it always looks so delicious whenever I see a character eat it. So with that in mind, what is a fictional food that you read about that you would love to try? Or what is a real food item that you read about that you have yet to try that you would love to try? Or it made you try? I know it's a very layered question. For me, that would be Turkish Delight from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in the Chronicles of Narnia series. Now, before anything, I have tried Turkish Delight and was rather unimpressed by it. So I would specifically love to try the Turkish Delight that the White Witch gave to Edmund that caused him to rat out his entire family. Like, I know he was very ignorant to how evil she was at the time and stuff like that, but really, dude, you're just gonna trust her because of this magical Turkish delight? Stranger 101, don't take candy from a stranger. Especially if it's candy that's just magically made in front of you. Like, that's not just a little suspicious? Not in the slightest. Again, I know he's just a kid and she was being nice to him and stuff like that and didn't show her cruel side for a while. But all the same, like, was it really, really that delicious? Like, I've always wanted to know. And that is the last of the Kingdom Hearts book tag. I hope you at least enjoyed me going through all the books, even if you don't play Kingdom Hearts and have no idea what things I'm referring to. And if you'd love to try out this tag yourself, please do so. I tag you officially. You are tagged. You're it. And please let me know if you do it, because I would love to see what people come up with for all these prompts. And also just generally if other people want to do this other than me. Like, I can't be the only Kingdom Hearts fan in BookTube, but I really hope that my fellow Kingdom Hearts fans will find excitement through this tag, and also people who haven't watched Kingdom Hearts still think that the prompts are pretty cool enough to do it. But anyway, if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos, please hit that fancy dancy subscribe button. I think the next thing I'm going to post will be my Guernsey Literary Society book review. But if I get very, very busy, then it'll probably be my reading vlog for the BookTube games, which, by the way, I will be doing weekly vlogs during my BookTube games readathon experience. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I will link the video below explaining what all of that is. Basically, it's a really fun team-based reading competition, and so far it's been so fun meeting everyone and talking to everyone. So I can only imagine how it's going to be during the actual event. So please look out for those reading vlogs. I'm also kind of debating if I want to do a kind of playthrough reaction video to Kingdom Hearts 3. We'll see how I feel, because I might just immediately want to jump into the game and just not want to do anything else. I also don't know how many people would be interested in that. Definitely let me know if you think that would be cool. But for now, that is all I have left to say, I suppose. So I will see you guys later. Until next time, y'all.